What's up, you guys? My name is James Osias, and if you guys are new to this channel, expect things like affiliate marketing tips on how to start a business, much more, and things like that. But in today's video, it's going to be a little bit something different, and that's going to be Shopify. Well, in today's video, we're going to be going through a walkthrough. I'll share my screen with you in just a second on everything there is to know regarding the homepage, how to add products, where that exactly is at, what about the collections, or if I want to edit my theme, or what are these buttons, what is this mumbo jumbo when it comes to Shopify. And if you reached this point so far in the video and you don't know what Shopify is, basically it's one of the largest platforms in the world when it comes to e-commerce. What do I mean by e-commerce? It's basically selling products online, whether it's physical or digital. If you want to learn more about Shopify and what it has to offer, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below, just so that I'm able to produce more valuable content just like this one, so you're able to learn the ins and the outs of Shopify. Now let's get right to it. Enough about this mumbo jumbo when it comes to Shopify. Let me share my screen with you and let's do this walkthrough together. Now we're on to my computer screen. I'm going to share everything there is to know about Shopify, just the general basics, so that you guys are able to actually get your feet wet and understand where the product section is, where the collection section is, so on and so forth. Alright, so starting off, we're at the homepage. The homepage is where everything is going to be at, and do mind that this is a fresh website. So this is a fresh Shopify account, so there isn't going to be any kind of information like the total sales, the payouts, things like that. This is what is going to show when you start off, and I just wanted to show from the very beginning of what it's going to look like. If you're ever stuck on what to do, follow these 4 steps and then you'll be on the right track to getting your website good to go. Now moving on, the orders section is where when someone buys a product from your website, this is the page where all that information is going to be at. Their name, their address, email address, the products that they purchased, and then this is where you're able to fulfill those orders and then let the customer know when you're going to ship out the product, if you want to leave any notes, things like that. So if we were to have an order or create one, it would look along something along the lines of this. So if you have multiple products, you would choose the product, and if you want to add notes, things like that, and all of this would be automatically calculated. You can email the invoice to that customer if they were a previous customer from before. And then for accepting the payment, you can do these 3 options. And then tags is basically filtering out your customers. Tags are going to be very important when it comes to Shopify, because once your business starts growing, there's going to be a ton of customers, products, things like that, and you want to learn how to filter them out, if that makes sense. So moving on is abandoned carts. Abandoned carts is when a customer goes to your website and then adds a product to their cart, but they didn't fully check out. That is called an abandoned cart because they left it there and they left your website. This would be a valuable page when you want to send out emails to these people that didn't purchase your products, but they were interested because they showed that they wanted it in their cart. This would be a valuable page. Moving on is the product section. This is where you're able to add products, remove products, make any kind of modification when it comes to that. So for example, if we were to add a product, let it load. This is the title, so it'd be something along the lines of, I don't know, let's say big t-shirt. And then this is where you type the description, things like that, right? and then you're able to change the kinds of text you have in there. You can add pictures, videos, so on and so forth to make that page, that product page, look more enticing to your customer. Media, this is where you would add those pictures that you have, and then you can either drag and drop it or click to download it on there. Pricing is fairly self-explanatory, but this is where you'd insert the price. Now you must be asking yourself, what is compare at price? The compare at price is essentially when you want to have like a discount, right? So if a product is $20, or I'm sorry, if the product is going to be discounted for $20 and the original price was $25, it would mark it out in big red letters saying that it's discounted. And that's what you could do. Cost per item, what's really cool about this is when you get down to the very details of your products, as far as like how much it costs to make it, what's great about Shopify is that it'll tell you the margin and dollar profit. So you want to keep an eye on that when it comes to analytics and things like that. When you have tax, there's a ton of valuable content on YouTube, Google, things like that about taxes and e-commerce platforms. I'm fairly not knowledgeable when it comes to that, but if you leave this check marked, then that means that it will tax your products. Inventory is fairly self-explanatory. The stock keeping unit, the barcode, if you really want to get technical with all of your products, keep track quantity marked up, just for the fact that if someone were to buy a product, you don't have to manually go in there and say like, oh, I have one less t-shirt or two less t-shirts, so on and so forth. Then you could change the quantity. And like I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be a physical product. You can sell digital products as well. Weight, this is very important if you ship out a physical product, due to the fact that when you do, what happens is that Shopify has their own discounted shipping rates, either through USPS, FedEx, so on and so forth. So if you do the hard work now and weigh all of your products, it'll automatically calculate for you and do the math of how much it costs to ship your product out to your customer. Customs information, this is if you really want to start selling outside of the United States. Variants. Variants is one of those things where if you have multiple sizes, multiple colors, multiple materials, all you do is go type in an option and then put a comma right after it, then it would do that. Ta-da! Very easy, right? And then this is where you're able to change the pricing of each individual variant. Make sense so far, you guys? If you're learning valuable content right now and seeing what Shopify has to offer for you, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Now moving on, edit website SEO. This is the part where if someone were to Google your website, this is the whole butter, the whole steak on a plate kind of ordeal. This is what they would see off of the Google search engine. So you could say something like big t-shirt by small t-shirt company. And then you would change the description to whatever you like. And then you could even change the URL handle down below. Then you can save it. But before you save it, there's the organization that you really have to look out for. So like, let's say you're a clothing company, you sell shirts and pants. You want to separate those two of what kind of product it is. Vendor, if there are multiple vendors within your company, things like that. Collections, this is where you're able to choose the product in which collection it would go to. Tags, this is just another way of filtering or finding your products that you have. So like, let's say you have a summer collection of t-shirts, a fall collection, so on and so forth. Now moving on is the inventory. This is where you have all of your inventory on one page, and then you're able to make multiple modifications regarding to saying like, hey, I have five t-shirts of this, 5 pants of this, and then you're able to do it all on one page instead of going to each individual product, make the modification, save, go to the next one, make the modification, save. This page allows you to have it all on one page and see everything. Transfers, this is one of those things where if you want to keep track of your inventory regarding materials, so like let's say you get it from website A, website B, and you want to keep it all on one platform, that is another great thing when it comes to Shopify. It allows you to do that. Now moving on, collections. This is where you would see all of the collections you made. Now how do you create one? You just press create collection, create the title, description if you like. This is very important. Collection type. Now what this means is you're able to have it two ways. Either manually, which means for every product you make, you would manually insert it into this collection, or automated. The great thing about automated is if you've done it correctly, having those product tags or variants and titles, so on and so forth, it'll automatically place those products into the little collection that you have here. Makes sense so far? Cool. Now moving on, this is the same thing when it comes to the products. You would create your SEO. This is how you build up your SEO and how you get that much closer to the first page of Google. Now, I am no expert when it comes to SEO, but I highly recommend you off the bat is creating consistent keywords or sentences throughout your website so that you get that much closer to the first page of Google, because that's what everyone wants, right? Now moving on. Oh, before I forget, collection image. This is just going to be an image for you if you want to get a little pretty over on your website. If you do the picture here now, there will be options where you can have a picture so that when people click onto that, it would go to this specific collection. Gift cards is just another incentive for your customers to get products for you. What do I mean by that is when you create a gift card, let's say a $25 gift card, you recommend it to a friend, and then your friend is like, okay, I don't know what to get for my significant other, so I'm just gonna give them a $25 gift card. That shouldn't be the case with the gift card, but you know what I'm saying. If they don't know what to get off of your website, it would be a nice gift to give a gift card to the other people. Make sense? Customers, this is going to be one of the most valuable, I said valuable like a ton of times already, but this is going to be one of the pages where you'll learn about your customers, what their address is, what their email is. The main purpose, I believe, with this is when you have their email, they will be your customer forever. So you're able to send out campaigns, make them a returning customer, and keeping them informed. This is where all that information will be when a customer purchases a product from you. Always look into this. Analytics, this is where you're going to see the whole back end of your business, like the total sales, the profits, where are they coming from, what social media platform did they come from, or what time, things like that. You'll learn a ton the more you start looking into this page. Very important. Reports, this is another version or another variation of the analytics. So you would see the marketing, like how much you spent, or the behavior of your customers, or the number of customers that went onto your website the past 30 days, so on and so forth. Live view, this is pretty cool from Shopify just because when you have a launch with your products and whatnot, you're able to see in real time where they're coming from, how many orders are made, and how much money and sales that you are making. This is pretty cool just to see in real time, so enjoy it. It's a really cool experience to see where your orders are coming from. Now, if you're learning valuable content so far and you're not bored, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. If you don't like this video so far, make sure to hit that dislike button twice for me. Now let's get to it. Now this is the marketing page of creating those campaigns where you're able to send emails out to your customers, like I mentioned before, when it comes to like abandoned carts, or if you want to send out a launch date to your customers, or if you want to just give them more discount codes so that they become returning customers to your website. This is where it would all be done, and this page as well. This is where it will show you how many orders are made from those campaigns, the sales, and how much it costs. Automation is essentially the same thing, but instead of manually sending out emails, this will do it automatically for you so that you do less work and you only have to do the hard work once. Now moving on, this is the discount codes section. This is where you're able to give out discount codes like free shipping or 25% off, or a holiday is coming up, for example Black Friday. You can do discount codes for that, and it's going to all be here. You would just create it like this: spring sale, choose your percentage, and you can actually choose what products or collections if you want to be that specific. You want to have minimum requirements? They have to spend $10 minimum, so on and so forth. And who's legible? Like what kind of customers? Is it for your Instagram customers, your Facebook customers? Usage limit, and you can have active dates, or you can have, what I mean by active dates is how long do you want this to last? And it's cool because on the right it'll summarize everything about that discount code. Now, one of the things that makes Shopify stand out is the apps. What I mean by that is that it allows you to choose things to grow your business, whether it's aesthetically, business-wise, marketing, so on and so forth. It's the same thing when you're to download an app for your iPhone or for your Android. But in this case, it's for your website to grow your business for the long run. So for example, you can add things like instant messaging, or you can have a little chat bot off of your website, or if you want to have like pop-ups where they can receive discount codes, that's where you can do all of this right here. Now to the fun stuff. This is where you would actually create the visuals when it comes to your website. So there's a ton of valuable information that you can get from this. If you're new, just starting off, just get in there and mess with it with the current theme that it has right now. And then when you learn how to get into it, like how do I change the product, things like that, that is when you can choose the themes, or if you want to pay for themes that Shopify offers, you can do that as well. So now let's get actually into it. Let's customize. Now when we customize, it's going to show this screen right here of your homepage. The left side right here is going to be something called sections. Now each portion that you see on this page is called a section. And now let's say you want to get to this portion right here, right? But you don't know how to get there. Just start clicking any of this stuff right here, the sections, and it'll automatically bring it to you. That's the great part about it. So if you're not tech savvy, they're making it as beginner friendly as much as possible. So there's a ton of things that you can do here. You can add images, whether it's stock free photos or your own. So for example, you can do things like that. And then boom, a picture shows up. And then you can add some words like that you see. And you can even add buttons. Learn more. So then just do that. And then look at that. There you go. No coding required. And it's just a button right there. You can do a lot of things here. So for example, next thing would be image with text. You can add another image. Let's just use this ice globe right here. And it would show there. And you would learn the more you mess with it. And I also highly recommend every modification that you make, save it. Press that save button on the top right. If I'm not losing you so far, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Now moving on, there's a lot of information to take. Yes, I know. If you have any comments, make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll get back to those as soon as possible. You can see all of these sections here. What's cool is that if you don't want to delete them, you can hide it just so that you can see what the website looks like without it. And what's cool is that you can move things around. There's no coding required when it comes to Shopify. They make it easy for you as much as possible. And you can even add more sections if you want. If you want to have a little newsletter, look at that. Or if you want to have a map to your business. So on and so forth. Now I know this is getting a little long here for you guys, but I'm going to step out of the little editing here. And then we're going to move on. Blog posts. Blog posts is where you would create what it is, blog posts. It can either be your top 10 favorites, dislikes, or products that you have. And the more blog posts that you make, it will increase the eyes of Google in order to be in the first page of Google, because that's what we want. So keep creating valuable content, and sooner or later you'll be that much closer to the first page of Google. Pages. This is the section where you would create like an about us, or a contact us, or a frequently asked questions page. This is where you would do it. This page right here. Now moving on. This is the navigation portion. So it's going to be that menu bar that's going to be up top or down at the bottom of your website, and you're able to make changes like add some stuff or delete it, whichever you prefer. So you can add like a products page and show all products. Same thing with your website, you can move things around. So don't be afraid to do all of that. And then you can edit if you make a mistake or delete it. Make sure to press that save button all the time, wherever you're at. Moving on, this is where you would buy a domain. Now, if you don't already have one, this is where you would do it. Shopify offers a great service where you're able to buy a domain for about $15 a year. That's such a great deal. $15 a year to have your own domain name for your website. Now moving on, last but not least, this is the settings section. This is where you would change the general, the shipping, let's say the accounts, how you're going to be billed, or things like that, shipping and delivery. There's a ton of information that you would regurgitate after you go through all of this spiel right here. If you have any questions regarding this section or anything regarding Shopify, make sure to comment down below and I'll get to those as soon as possible. Welcome back, you guys. That must have been a lot of information to take in going through that Shopify walkthrough. If you want to go to certain parts of the video, check the timestamps down below and it'll take you directly to the part that you want to go to. If you want to learn more about Shopify, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and make sure to leave a comment so I know what kind of video to make. Be on the lookout for those. Now learning about Shopify, do you want to have your website done for you where all you have to do is plug and play your information and have me walk through with you on how to do certain things like create a product, create a collection, how do I make my website look visually appealing? Click down the link below and to learn more about it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.